What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. Now, if it's your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself and say hello in the chat so you can get a nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as the tradition goes around here, first thing we do is to check exactly who are the first ones here in chat. All right. And right off the bat, we have Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator, as always, taking care of the chat and being present. We missed you last week, and your presence was missed throughout the chat as well. Everyone was talking about it. All right, we also have Parker Jennings in the house saying looking forward to the stream. All right, absolutely. We got Jeremy Rainey Cajun in the house saying looks like Lewis found the topic for tonight. Yes, I did. We're gonna be talking about camo if it isn't evident. So he says there we go. Yeah, and I just seen a thumbs up go up. So if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button. It's highly appreciated. Okay, they're chatting in the chat. We got John also in the house saying hello to everybody. We got smiles. A little bit of a different setup, so I'm actually having to look past the camera today because of the topic at hand. So I'm doing my best. Let me see this. Okay, we're talking about that. We even got Marine X in the building, kicking in the door. How you doing, brother? All right, well, gonna give you a glimpse of behind the scenes so that you can see pretty much what I'm dealing with. So right now, let's go to my secondary iPhone shot, and as you can see, this is my look, I was gonna say iPhone, but no, this is my Sony A6100 with the lens, with the whole, you know, like projector. What is it? Projector? Teleprompter. That's the correct word. Teleprompter setup, right? And that's usually where I see the comments, but today we're using camo, and my front facing shot was actually brought to you by my iPhone 11 Pro. So that's the camera that we're using right now, and we're utilizing this angle through the power of camo. Now, I haven't really done anything because we're going to get into the editor in a little bit so that we could adjust colors, but this is what you could expect straight out of the box. Now, it's so interesting to me because the sensor and the way that, you know, the iPhones compute all of the data as far as video actually tries to give you the best exposure even in the most minimal light, to the point that I had to turn off my usually, you know, on Ulanzi light. So the only thing that I need, and I'm going to go back to show you, is to kick on this little mini focus light, and that's going to fill in and be plenty of light for my use case scenario using the iPhone as my main camera. Now, going back to it, as you can see, I have this small little light here, but my main Ulanzi light, I could just take it off because it's not being utilized today. So it's very interesting that we can get such great exposure with, you know, the power of the iPhone camera, but the colors aren't exactly there to my liking because that's just the way the iPhone exposes it. And, you know, I'm meticulous about my colors. That's what makes me a junkie about this stuff. So right, for example, I'm gonna give you a shot. This is more of a color tone that I prefer for my shots, and this is way off of that, especially with the warmth and the colors, but we'll get into that. Now, as far as a shot goes, this is very like usable. Like if you're not as meticulous as I am, which most likely you're not, right, and you just want a higher quality camera to be used instead of your like built-in webcam, this is ideal. Now I'm gonna go back to this shot to show you how janky it is, because I wanted to utilize the iPhone, but I didn't want to kind of like break down my entire setup. So what I did is I just took the iPhone and place it here. And as you can see, these are just two pieces of gaff tape, one to hold it and keep it onto my, like my HD monitor for the projector, or I keep saying projector, for the teleprompter, and then the other one just to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't fall off. And that's it. So now just two pieces of gaff tape are pretty much holding up this camera, which just gave me the idea. I was like, that's very usable for a use case scenario. Like, let's say you're in a dorm or in a tight location, right? Cubicle style. You can literally take your iPhone and just tape it to the wall and then have a higher, point of view as far as the interaction with the camera, comparative to just having, like that looking down motion that you get and people looking up your nose when it comes to, the built-in webcams that you usually find on laptops, which is, as a photographer, it's not a pleasant angle for people ever, right? You never want to shoot looking up the nose, and it's just, you look very like dark, right? So it is like dark in the matter of like in negative, so to speak, like if you would say like good versus evil, right? When you shoot from under to above, it gives kind of like a negative feeling towards the imagery, and it's used a lot in Halloween and stuff like that to kind of like invoke terror and things like that. So it's never a pleasant angle for portraits or video. That's why I don't recommend it. So just, taking, I don't know if I still have it around here, but just grabbing like a piece of gaff tape and kind of using your phone and putting it against the wall, and then that being your camera, is gonna work wonders compared to just the built-in webcam that you would find. And also, you don't get that, what we call the zoom face, right, where you're kind of not looking at the camera itself, but you're just looking down. So let me go back to the comments, right, because I have to use them sparingly. I'm actually going to move the window over here for today so that I can see them better, because I have to like look past it and I'm just seeing a small little sliver, so I don't want to miss the comments. All right. So Mr. Moderator's in the house also saying, if you do have a question, please put a Q colon, and I'll search for that in a little bit. We got JP in the house as well. All right. Scott Rogers is hanging in here. The BTS cam. That's right. Well, that's the whole thing. That's also an iPhone. Now, my BTS cam, my hovering shot, that's actually on an iPhone XR. Yeah, like the 10R, which is like their entry level iPhone. And this iPhone, I've mentioned it before, can't really be used as an iPhone anymore, because the internal motherboard took damage from a fall that even if you were to replace the screen a million times over, it needs some like structural damage to the main board, that it will always twitch and glitch and do everything that it wants to do in spite of what you're asking it to do with your finger. So it became an unusable phone when it would start randomly calling people out of the blue just because it decided to go onto the keypad and dial a number at 3 o'clock in the morning. So at that time, the client just didn't want anything to do with the phone, and it just kind of fell into my lap, and I was like, I don't really have a use for it. But I ended up finding one, just using it as my spare camera. Now, I've connected this with continuity camera, which usually just allows you to utilize one camera and that's it. But with the power of Ecamm and being able to switch and accept a variety of different camera feeds, right, you're able to create a dual angle shot. So you can have this as your main shot, but then quickly switch to your second iPhone on continuity as your secondary shot. And right there, you're already leagues above most people when it comes to production. So if you're constantly waiting to get things perfect, this is my my nod to upgrading your skills before your gear, right? A lot of people have already spent a lot of money on these incredible devices that we call iPhones. Sometimes we need to utilize them to their max capacity. Now, if I were to go out and buy the latest and greatest iPhone right now, I will still have this iPhone here at the house pretty much doing nothing, right? The same way that unfortunately the iPhone XR to my right basically took that negative aspect and no longer works as a phone, but now is working as a camera. So if you by any chance were to happen to have a smartphone of any kind, whether it be an iPhone or an Android, with Camo you'd be able to connect it and then find it through all of the applications that you're utilizing your camera for, whether it's Zoom, Discord, anything at all, any type of FaceTime call, and the software that requires you to access your camera, you will then be able to access Camo and utilize it that way. So let's go back to the chat. Everybody's just hanging out. Let me see. Gretchen's in the house as well, saying hi to me, Aiden. All right, I'm glad that you're home safe. And Robert's in the house also saying hello to the MCJ fam. All right, so now I'm going to go to a new scene that I've created, which basically has... Actually, you know what? Let me put that down just in case. Okay, which basically has the Camo Studio. And full disclosure, there's a free version of this, but I'm on the pro version so that I have all the bells and whistles and can show you the max of what this, you know, this product can do, what this software can do. So let's go over to that scene, named it Camo. Boom. Okay, and this is the Camo window or the Camo Studio, and let's go ahead and mess around with it. So right now we're broadcasting in 4K at 30 frames per second. Now Camo has a lot of functionality here within the studio where we can adjust colors and things like that. So let's go ahead and start messing around with that. But then at the same time, we have the ability to change other things, right? Some extra visual enhancements that are only available in 1080. So depending on the quality that you're asking, more times than none, to be said correctly, 1080p is more than, you know, good enough for high definition. You know, like you can look very good in 1080p. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and mess around with that to see if there's any real difference between the 4K that we're getting from the iPhone or the, you know, 1080, because the 1080 is going to really unlock the power of Camo Studio. So let's get into it. Right now, this is pretty cool because I don't have to add myself into another bubble, right? You're seeing the feed that's coming directly from the camera. So as you can see, there's a lot more information in this shot because I zoomed in with Ecamm. But right now we're seeing pretty much everything. And let me see if I bring this over here. All right. Okay, so this is better for me to see exactly what's going on. All right, now that, to give you an example. Nope, that's the wrong shot. This is the shot. So basically I moved the screen over here so that I'm looking this way comparative to that screen. So let's go back to the Camo shot. Boom. All right. All right. So let's see exactly what we can manipulate. We're here. All right. Background image and image enhancements. We really can't do that because, like I said, we're at the 4K, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Exposure. Right? Like I'm looking at myself right now and the exposure, I would prefer it a little bit less because I know my natural skin tone, but then at the same time, this is all being done automatically. And as you can see, the shutter speed and even the ISO is changing on the fly. Another good thing about this is that we all know that iPhones have amazing autofocus. So let's say you were trying to be like a, a beauty blogger, right? A beauty vlogger, and that you were going to be putting a lot of like items in front of the camera, then this could also be a great option, because the autofocus for demonstrations on an iPhone is pretty much amazing, just because they're taking in so much data and using it to expose everything correctly. But that's what's amazing about the iPhone cameras, that they're almost seeing more than what you would naturally see at times. And it's been proven through a lot of the photography and photos. Um, we can get really nerdy on their computation photography and everything like that, and all the things that are happening in milliseconds. But I digress. This is more about what we could actually get in real time. So we have the ability to go from auto to manual when it comes to the shutter speed, ISO, and so on and so forth. So 1/30th of a second is actually what I'm running the live stream at. So when it comes to videography, you would kind of want to double that shutter speed so that you can get accurate motion blur. Now, this is more for if you having, let's say, even a lot of motion in your shot. Now, if you want to get a better exposure in low light, which is most likely what the iPhone is doing, it's dropping it to 1:1 basically. Instead of doubling the shutter speed, it's right on point, so that every second that it's exposing for is giving the optimal amount of light for that shot, so the exposure is increased. Oh wow, I just got a message. Let me check something out here. Hopefully everything's okay. Let me go ahead and check the comments. Oh, that looks not good. Let's fix that, hopefully. There we go. That looks better. Oh, if I'm getting messages. Okay, I'm seeing them on my computer. I don't know if you guys are hearing it, but good thing at least I can check them on the computer, I believe. And let's just make sure that it's not an emergency. Come on, let's move that out of the way. Nope. Total distraction for no reason. Let's thank Doc Rock for that one. All right. The reason why I couldn't just think about it is because my phone is literally being used for this camera, so all the messages are on the other side of the screen, and I'm like, I'm not gonna disassemble this for the messages. But good thing it wasn't an emergency. All right, we move on. Okay, so we were at the shutter speed and exposure. Okay, let's go ahead and try the, oh, that's the wrong direction. Let's try to go to 60 over. And we didn't sacrifice too much exposure, so it didn't like drop too much. And now we should have more adequate motion blur for video, so that way everything should be going on. Yeah, I just saw the message now, Paul, but I digress. We continue. It took my attention for the moment, but like I said, no biggie. All right, let me do something here, because for whatever reason I'm anal like that, and I'm seeing like a white bar at the bottom. We'll just hover this there to get rid of that. That's just my OCD. Okay. All right, so now we have options for the ISO, right? Which, if you're not familiar with this, is basically the sensitivity of like the sensor itself. The lower the ISO value, the cleaner the shot tends to look, and the higher it goes, the brighter it will impact the overall image, but also to the negative factor of increasing what is called noise. It used to be called grain in film, right? But in the digital form, we call it noise, which is kind of like a hazing of the image. But as of as the way we have it set up right now, it's looking pretty good as far as exposure, that I could even bring that down a bit to see if we can get a cleaner image. So we are down to, let's bring it down to 100. 110 looks good. You know what? Let's leave it there. That's 110. So this is 4K image at, at ISO 110. And now, because of Camo, you have the ability to control that, so that, like if you're a control freak like me, you have the ability and the power to just get exactly what you want. As you can see, the white balance and the temperature are also on auto, right? So that depending on what's actually happening, the exposure or the temperature and the tint are changing, which is not ideal. Excuse me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move away from auto as well. And let's see, as a reference point, right? We're gonna go from this shot and we're going to go to this shot. Let's see. You know what? Let me do something even better, because we have the power of eCam. So we're going to go to the Camo screen, and let's see. I should be able to grab this and drop it. Oh, that was okay. It was in the wrong format, but the correct. Yeah, we could work with this, right? We're going to try to match these colors as best as we can, right? So we just added myself in the periphery, and we're just going to drop that there. We can cover up that for now. All right. So that sucks, because I just realized you get to see this, but I don't. Because as soon as I go back to Camo Studio, I don't see the reference. But you know what? I'm gonna work with what I have here. I'm gonna work with my program window. All right, so let's see what I can do here. Just to eyeball these colors a bit. Okay, I can work with this. All right, we're winging it. Like that video says, like a little baby bird. I'm just winging it. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. We have the ability to mess with temperature. As you can see, as I just mess with the slider, how drastically it changes the entire image. So if we were kind of like center both of them, right? This is like a plus. So we were to go to 0, kind of center it there, 5500. Doesn't look too bad, but as you can see, the colors are completely different, just looking way greener, right? And that's, for emphasis, that's something that happens with Sony sensors. It's so funny that the iPhone uses Sony sensors. All right, so first thing to fix this is we're gonna go with the tint. So we're gonna skew towards the magenta side so that we can add some color, and right away we can see a difference, right? And I'm just using that reference. That's already looking a bit better, looking like I actually have blood in my face. Okay, so let's see here. And now let's just change the temperature a bit as well. Skew that towards, let's see, where are we? Hey, Miko, how are you? I see you sneaking in the back door. Miko, the entrepreneur. How you doing? We're here messing around with Camo. Miko, I had the pleasure of meeting her in person at Podfest. We were able to converse, hang out, and exchange information. And now, look, she's here, hanging out here with the family. So everyone, say what's up to Miko, the entrepreneur. Okay, so now these colors are already looking a lot better, in my opinion. Now there's more that I can do with this image, right? to adjust it to get it more towards like what you're seeing in this bottom corner over here, but I'm limited to what I have the ability to do in 4K, because that's, I guess, just more than what is capable through the lightning cable. Because that's another thing that's very interesting. All of this imagery, and just to explain, is just connected through the standard iPhone cable, which, if you were to really know as far as technology goes, it is not the like most robust cable as far as transferring data. It's actually why, you know, so many people have been asking for the iPhone to go into USB-C for so long, because they've had ProRes and so many different aspects of you know, getting good video even raw, but then transferring the data outside of your phone through this like very thin cable with slow speeds is always an issue, and it would take forever to get that data out. Now with the USB-C, it runs a lot faster, especially in the Pro devices. So I believe they're running at Thunderbolt speeds, which greatly increases the transfer speeds of all the files on your iPhone. So with that being said, all of this, I guess, is limitations of the lightning cable, why we could only do so much in 4K. But with that, I think that we're going to switch over to 1080p and start messing with that for a little bit. Now, let me go ahead and check the comments here to see if there's any questions about this. Oh, we got Kevin. And he's also telling us to remember to hit that like button. Highly appreciate you, sir. Sarkeesi's in the house. How you doing, brother? All right. All right, so let's get back to it. Thank you, Miko. Says, loving my setup. All right. Let's go back to the program. And right here, live, we're going to go from 4K. As you can see, it has a variety of different aspects that you can select your camera to be. But we're just going to go from the 4K to the 1080. I did that wrong. Oh, because I picked the wrong one, right? There we go. Okay. So now, as you can see, the image changed in size. But the other features here in the, you know, in the controls for the image adjustments is now basically unlocked. So now we're gonna mess around with that in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and lock this. A cool thing is that this is also just a percentage. So I'm gonna go over the image itself, and just using my scroll wheel, I'm going to zoom into the 1080 image just to make it the correct size. And that's just for my own benefit. So, you know, the image is still going to be the same whenever you ask for it through the, you know, like the device. So now this is going to take effect to the regular shot, you know, which would be this one here, right? So now this one is also in 1080. Okay, so now that we've unlocked those things, let's go ahead and mess around with that, because now we could really use like contrast, and the gamma, I think, is the most important to try to bring down kind of like the brightness overall, so that it can get more of a, like a, I guess, a subtle image. So let's, whoa, yeah, we're gonna be bringing that down. As you can see, it's kind of like negative brightness, but kind of in just the right areas, which increases sharpness to me. Let's see where we are with the contrast. Let's leave it at 1. I think that's gonna be fine where it is. Brightness, let's see where we're at. I think Okay, I see a message that Gretchen is saying to try the vibrance. Let's see exactly what we're getting off of the vibrance. Muted, extra vibrant. But no, we don't need so much, just a touch, right? It's kind of like salt, right? You just want a little sprinkle, little sazon, so to speak, right? You don't want to put too much because then it's unedible, right? Unpalatable, correct words. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, mind you, this is a completely different setup, right? We're talking about a Sony A7R2, right? Yeah, with one of my favorite Sigma lenses, which is what you're seeing down here, right? This is just one of my favorite setups, and that's why I also use the Sigma on my main shot here with the A6100. But I digress. That if we're talking about that we were just dealing with a single image and that we're just like saying all we have is our built-in webcam, this is night and day better. Like, there's really no comparison to what you would get out of a webcam with just the features and controls and what you can maximize out of this setup. Now, once again, this is an iPhone 11 Pro. How many generations are we're on iPhone 16, right? Or that's the one that's coming out, iPhone 15 currently. So in the iPhone 15, and we're like about to be dealing with the iPhone 16 later this year, we're talking about 5-6 years of iterations of the cameras getting better each single time. And right now, the cameras that you find on the current iPhones even blow this that you're seeing out of the water. So it really goes to, it depends on your situation. It depends on what you've invested into your hardware. But as of right now, like, this looks great, and it's really amplifying the colors and doing the most and the best with what it has. But this is so usable that I can guarantee you that this already would classify you in basically like the top 1% of creators when it comes to image quality, which is why I'm sometimes dumbfounded when I see people still utilizing the built-in webcams because well, I guess it's just me. I'm a stickler for like the way that you show up online, especially in today's day and age. It's your digital business suit, right? It's, people would spend $2,000 $3,000 on a suit just for an interview to leave a good impression. And now you don't have to do that as far as the actual apparel on your body, but the way that you show up online, the way that you present. And even though I'm a camera junkie, I always say bad audio is unwatchable. That the way that you sound as well, and you come through as you like, the total package of your presence online is what really says it all, so to speak. It's almost like visual credibility, because they can see exactly how nice your setup is because you've taken that conscious effort to doing it correct. All right, we got Michael in the house saying it looked like I walked in at a great point. Awesome. How you doing, Michael? Thanks for stopping by as always. Says nice tool for camera matching. I'm impressed in the high D image level. Yeah, that's something that I love Ecamm for, because you can just throw that and then start matching all of your shots and get them as close as possible, which is the same thing what I did with this bad boy over here, kind of like with my entire setup, even though the limitations to this is that it's coming straight out of camera through continuity cam. So just compare this shot of me right here to, oh, I've lost, where's Ecamm? Well, basically to this shot right here. That's so weird. I can get into what just happened, but I digress. It's not even important. It's basically like the Camo Studio window got stuck in between the Ecamm windows, but we march on. All right, with this being done here, we're going to go into kind of more of the jovial aspect and the things that you can do now that we're in the 1080 form, which is the image enhancements, which is something that I found very interesting, right? And things that we're just messing around. So let's go ahead and we can do portrait mode, which, as you can see, utilizes the same computational video that you would get out of the iPhone. So let's say you didn't have the best background. This is not the look that I recommend, but if you were looking to do this, as you can see, like, it cuts off a bit of my beard sometimes, and you know, in the tracking, but I digress. I've seen worse, right? But let's see, this is privacy. Oh, so it's even more blurred, meaning you didn't even do laundry and didn't even pick up behind you at all. So you want to blur out the world. So that's privacy. And then replace, which is just a green screen effect. And I guess we can replace it with a green screen or a chosen backdrop. I don't have anything set up for a backdrop, so we're just gonna leave that there. All right, let's go back to the normal. All right, and we're back to square one. Okay, so now we have the background spotlight. All right, let's see how we do this. Okay, so it dims out my background and just creates like a spotlight around me. As you can see, it almost looks like a halo that's following, right? That's just because I've got it maxed out, but it is using kind of like the same computational photography. Instead of blurring the background, it's just brightening me up as the individual. I almost look like, you know, like a celestial figure, right? Just glowing out of the background. But it's stuff that you can, like, you know, maybe not use every single day, but now if you know that this is something that's happening, right? Like, this is kind of cool if you wanted to do like a Ghost remake, right? And then you're just gonna throw an effect on there. Knowing how these things end up working, whether to your benefit or not, is actually still just another skill, another tool that you're putting in your arsenal. Because now if I wanted to create like an old school like music video effect, right, I can come here and throw this, you know, like filter on it, and then utilize a slower frames per second or FPS in the recording, right? Maybe do like 16 frames per second, right? So that you can get like an old like 8-meter vibe, right? You know, kind of do a Blair Witch play and things. So, you know, you could always mess around, but always having the ability to, you know, like improvise and create. Okay, so that is the spotlight feature, and then we bring it down and it kind of normalizes everything. So it was back at 50%, but we're just gonna shut that off. So now filter. Well, you can go to a gallery, which I'm not sure exactly what that is. You have the ability to import a LUT. So let's say you just basically created a flat image, you can have all the colorization done through the LUT. But let's try some of these filters. Okay, not bad. I'm getting notifications left and right, trying not to pay attention because there's a big UFC event going on right now, so I'm not trying to have any spoilers. I've never heard of that name, Tritonamely. I think I said that right. You're gonna have to go, like, I'm not even gonna try to butcher these names because I have never read them. So this definitely cools off the image, but then also flattens like all of the like colors. As you can see, that's a pink light in the back and it's just almost muted to white, so it definitely takes all the magenta away, which is not kind of what we wanted, seeming that I threw so much magenta back into the image. Okay, so we got green booster. Don't see, I see more saturation boosted. Blockbuster. They are filters. These look more like Instagram filters to me. And I think that's the last one. I think I would want to try these filters like before I started messing with the colors. I think we would get more of an effect, right, out of the green image that you get kind of like in the camera straight out of the box, right? Because of what we talked about before. All right, so let's go none. It looks like you can go to the gallery and I guess find more. You know what? Let's try it. What happens when we click gallery? Oh, it just throws them. No, these are more. Holy crap. Look, it's got like, I saw it. Bleach bypass? Whoa, look at that. That's like, that's infamously a filter or a film emulation that's very sought after in the Fuji universe, so to speak. Now, I don't think you guys have the ability to see what I'm seeing right now. So I'm going to try, let me see here. And I'm going to go into live demo. Okay, so you're seeing all of my behind the scenes so that I can show you this. And show you the gallery. So yeah, the gallery, this is what we're looking at here now. It's not real much difference in the Are you guys let me know in the chat if you guys are seeing the live demo, because my preview screen is showing nothing or just my shot. So let me know if you guys are seeing this or not. Thumbs up, thumbs down. So there's a bunch of different look, like just RGB changes the image. Cool. There's a lot of filters. Quiet. Oh, that's kind of like leading towards black and white and just throwing ooh, that's not a good look. Pop. Oversaturated in certain areas, but sun-kissed. I'm waiting on a response from you guys. I'm checking. Oh, okay, we got the thumbs up. The chat wasn't moving, sorry guys, but thank you for that. Robert and Michael, thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, so look, 2 strips, right? That's super interesting. 2 strips right now is very University of Miami. Like I could just make a video promoting, the U and this will fit right in because it definitely got the orange and the green. So 70s analog, that's actually not bad. This actually looks like Pro Mist. Right, that's throwing like kind of like that film grain onto it. And now this is where I'm telling you, this is where I think Camo is really like knocking it out of the park, because you have this ability to get this granular, and this is out of your iPhone, or in other cases, I don't know why you would, but an Android smartphone, if you actually had one, right, that you can still use that and register that Android phone to your Camo Studio that's running on your computer. And this is not only for Mac computers, this also works for PC or Windows based PCs. So this is kind of like basically all you need. And this is kind of leading right into what I always talk about, which is upgrade your skills before your gear. Before you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on camera gear that you don't even know if you're going to utilize, you can utilize a phone that you have in your pocket, if not a spare phone that you have in your drawer that you haven't been using as your backup phone, but now you are able to utilize the cameras and make the most out of your setup using a phone. Hence my iPhone XR hanging out in the background that's been part of my live stream, because I really can't use it for anything else but that. Oh, right now you guys aren't seeing my face. You've just been seeing this entire like filter screen. Sorry guys. Over here is showing the face and I forget what I'm looking at. Anyway, you know what? Let's adjust this window, right? There we go. That's better, but we have the ability to look at all these filters, man. We just got just black and white, which it was the 70s analog, right? That was the one that looked pretty cool. Yeah. Black and white. Bleach bypass. Yeah, 70s analog, like, and I'm thinking like I'm way too orange right now, right? Looking at it. But I can see the potential in this filter if maybe, yeah, because it would be adding the orange, it would be adding kind of like that blood color into the skin. So it'll probably like fix a lot of the issues that you would probably have directly out of the iPhone. You probably don't even need to go as granular as I did with the image adjustments if you just use one of these filters. So there's potential. So it has the same ones that like the Blockbuster one. These that says Deuteronomy. That's just messing with like a biblical term or a book, and anomaly, like I don't know. And false colors. Very interesting. This is like a play on Predator. Shout out if you guys, you know, enjoyed that movie. That's probably one of my favorites. Predator. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let me know your thoughts. For me, 2 thumbs up. Old school movie. Those are one of those ones that I could pretty much watch anytime. All right, so we're going to continue. I know that we're still in live demo mode, so I'm just going to leave it here in case anything else pops up. All right, so that was the filters. We're going to go back to none. All right. And now this is something that I just messed with slightly, but this is where it's going to go next level fun. So AR. I'm not quoting this exactly, but there was a lot of people who used a program called Snap Camera, right? And Snap Camera kind of just disappeared. I think that's the name of it, but it disappeared, so I really can't remember what was the name of it. Now, apparently, somehow a lot of the filters that people love to use found their way over into Camo. So how that worked out exactly, I don't know, but I'm gonna show you. So emoji face, boom. And this is the crazy part. If I'm smiling, it smiles. If I frown, it gets mad. Look at this. It's like grilling. It's winking. It's doing a bunch of stuff. And it's like a emoji face filter. Now, this is just like hilarious to me. But let's continue. Emoji hands. What's up? Look at this. You could thumbs up. It's got the fingers in the wrong way. You have to do it like that. Like, oh, see, it's got the wrong hand. No, do the other hand. There we go. It's confused a bit, but let's continue. Face follow. Oh wow, check that out. Yo, tell me if it's just me, but this gives me straight that 70s shows vibe. Like when the kids would come from the basement and the parents would be talking to them and be like, take out the trash. Yo, this is so trippy. This is probably giving you guys some motion sickness, so let me change this, but that is hilarious. That's the first thing that popped into my head, was like that 70s show. What just, yo, look at that. It like zooms into, yo, crazy. Okay. Invisible. Yo, that is scary. That is so funny. Yo, invisible. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, we're gonna go to 8-bit. Okay, it takes the whole image. Okay, I don't know if that's 8-bit or woven. That looks almost like it's knitted. It takes everything and looks like grandma knit a yarn or something, right? But that's very interesting. I could see the blocks of the 8-bit, but I think it would have to be more like solid to give those vibes. This looks more like, yeah, like knitted. We have sketch. Wow, check that out. That's super interesting. What was it? What was that old music video? Rain on me, right? Or something like that. Something like that. But there was an old music video where it was lean on me, not rain on me. All right, anyways. Jaguar. Oh, wow. That's uncomfortable. But you know what? At the same time,
Monster Force. And you got
Fred's on your what? Oh, Fred's on your head. This looks like a Paul Duncan situation here. Apparently, I got a maestro. Yo, Camo is on another trip, man. Chromatic. Okay. Also, still another effect that you could just use. That looks very music video. Right? Yeah. You implement this with a glitch effect using the same colors and like something like that. Boom. You're set. And that's what I'm saying. Like this is something that you can utilize because of the simple fact that you can record directly into Ecamm using Camo, but then at the same time, this is wireless, right? As long as it's connected on the same Wi-Fi network, you'd be able to like directly record wirelessly and utilize your phone on a gimbal as you move in and out and capture this as like a music video vibe that's the main footage, and then, you know, do the rest in post, especially for music videos. But all of these things are available in that aspect. Starry Night. Okay, so it looks like we're going Van Gogh or Van Gogh. I don't think that lived up to what I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more swirls and things like that, especially, you know, like if it was based on Van Gogh's Starry Night. But I digress. We're gonna go into lightning. I've turned into Raiden from Mortal Kombat, right? I got electricities all over my face. Okay, so just on the face. But still, that's super interesting, don't you think? That's happening in real time. All right, and then the last one. Oh, let's go for it. Big head. Oh, that's okay. It kind of works, right? But it doesn't with me because I have a big beard. So the space that it's occupying as like the big head is what I already have in beard. See, like look at where my hand is with my beard, and then I'm gonna go from lightning to big head, and that's exactly where the cutoff point. That's exactly where the cutoff point of the image is for the face to create the big head. But I guess I beat them to the point. All right, so we're gonna go back to none. All right, so there we go. And that's Camo in a nutshell. Like, you know, there's more things that you can do. Audio presets here to the left, but I don't utilize this as the microphone, but you can, right? And there's a microphone right here on most iPhone devices because it knows that most people are going to utilize the best or the closest microphone to them. So Apple put one right next to the cameras in the camera array so that it can get the highest quality audio when it's recording video just in its native form. But you still have the ability to use that as your main microphone if, let's say, you don't have one. So right off the bat, you can utilize the camera and the microphone from your iPhone using Camo, and then you don't even have to worry about a microphone for the time being until you upgrade your skills. There's something flying around here right now. I don't know where the hell it came from. Oh, I must look like a crazy person swiping on screen. We're right at the hour mark. All right, let's see what else. Presets. I'm just gonna click on one of these synthwave 80s. Wow, these are presets. So these are just still like filters just the same way. Look at that. Look at how it's like, it looks like the color blue on my door is just wiggling. Very interesting as far as the presets. It says create a new preset. Okay, no, we're gonna get into that maybe another day. So interesting. Mono, which is kind of like black and white. Nerf. Craziness. Overlays and watermark. Okay, so FYI, if you don't have the pro version, you would have a watermark like so, and you would be limited to, I think, 720 or maybe 1080. You won't be able to get the 4K, but of course 4K nerd over here is gonna need that, so we went pro with it. But you actually have the ability to add a lot of things like lower thirds, and this is all built in. So if you kind of don't want to kind of figure any of that stuff out, you also have that ability, and you have the ability to edit them, right? So you'd be able to set that up, because it's not like they want to promote Johnny Appleseed, right? But I digress. You'd be able to set your stuff up, edit your information in there, and then boom, you have lower thirds already built in. That's dope. And then framing, well, that's the same thing, like zooming in and out, kind of what we did with Ecamm. And you have the ability to frame up and put what you want in the shot and what you don't want out of the shot. And that's kind of both sides running through it. You have the ability to switch cameras, right? Because you can go to the ultra wide, boom, and you see the whole kit bam and caboodle. But that, as you can see, really degraded the quality, because definitely not the same as far as the low light. And that's it. Now I'm gonna go back to the comments. I'm gonna go back to Ecamm, and we're gonna go and get out of live demo mode. Go back to the first shot and get rid of this floating head over here. And that's it. Actually, I'm gonna have to go back to the camo and undo that zoom, because I wasn't set up for it. All right, boom, and we're back to it. Let's go ahead and check the chat. First, I'm gonna check to see if there's any questions. Oh, I added that comment instead of searching for it. Good one. And that's all we had. Okay. All right. Let's go here. All right. Let's see where we are. Oh, Michael corrected me. That's right. It says take on me. Take. Yeah. Take on me. That was the song of the music video that has like the sketch stuff in it. Did we lose autofocus? Did I turn it off? I see it's focused in the back. Let's go to it real quick. I think I did. I think I clicked manual focus. Okay, I'm in focus. Okay, we're good now. Wow, it even has manual focus, which is something that I didn't even think was possible on the iPhone, but I digress. That's the power of Camo. So guys, if you're interested, go check them out. I don't have a link, but if I do get one and you're seeing this in the future and it's not live, then go ahead and check the description, because I will make sure to drop it down there if it's so were to happen. But as of right now, if you're seeing it live, go ahead and just check it out. And it might be something that's just perfect for you, or maybe a mobile or to-go setup as a backup situation, so that you could always look your best when you're showing up online. All right. See, Gretchen says, oh, I have to try sketch. That one looked pretty good. Paul said Tron. So Gretchen also confirming take on me by Aha. Classic video, not old. Thanks for the correction, Gretchen. I appreciate it. Hey, David checking in as well. How we doing? Lewis was absorbed by the AVP, and this is the result. You know, on another note, guys, I was it trimmed my beard. Yeah, Big Head did that. So now I have a business beard. Robert said, interesting variety of filters tied to the face in real time. Yeah. Oh, Sly snuck in and says, I've been listening, but this is one I need to watch, so I'll catch the replay. Hope everyone has a great week. Thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate it, and I hope you do have a great week as well. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, getting into a little bit of this, of what Mr. Moderator just said, the Apple Vision Pro. I got a good workout in, because I got hooked on this Synth Riders game, which is just a sensory overload. Like it is, it's hard to explain. Actually, this is kind of the best way that I can explain it. I think it's the Spider-Man ride, right? In Universal Studios. Now, the Spider-Man ride, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone here or in the future, drop it, a message. But I believe it's the one that they actually have like a gun, right? Like a hypothetical gun blaster in the front of the cart. So as you're going through, yes, Spider-Man 3D roller coaster ride at Universal Studios. You'd be wearing these 3D goggles or glasses and you're experiencing the whole thing, but then at the same time you have like a laser blaster that interacts with the environment, with the scenery, so you're taking it all in, and it makes the roller coaster slash ride that much more enjoyable because it's more interactive than just riding like the rails. This has that type of element to it, right? The synth riders, man, that thing, it's giving you music, it's giving you like visual, like sensory overload. It's got rhythmic aspects because you're playing along to the music. It almost makes you dance because it's requiring you to do like all these positions. And as I got into the game and started learning how it works, really started getting blown away with the immersiveness of the game and the fact that I don't have any controllers, right? Like the Apple Vision Pro is tracking my hands and doing all of this stuff in real time. Now, if you were to see any of the videos of the footage of what this thing is producing and how it's working in real time, that thing is freaking next level. And it was so addictive that the entire time I'm listening to a song and interacting with it, I have the biggest smile on my face. I am like literally laughing like if I was on a roller coaster at Universal Studios, at Disney World, and interacting with it like a lot of the exhibits more or less that you would find in Epcot, right? That they were very technology based and they were very interactive. So this is all happening in real time, and it's just next level for me. Like that thing is like, it's scary fun. It's scary fun because I know that I just like lost hours. And just FYI, Mr. Camera Junkie's name is already number one on a lot of these songs lists. Like I have an average of top 5 on just basically every track that I've ran through on that game because it is that much fun. And it's not that I would actually have to know, because it's not like a repetitious thing. I'm actually having so much fun, right? Or let's say so much more fun knowing that I now understand the mechanics of the game, and now I'm picking songs that I would never really listen to normally, but it's just a track that I haven't played, so it's just kind of like a new level that I have yet to unlock. And each song has 3 levels of difficulty from like easy, normal, and hard. And wow, do they get intricate. So it is like a fully fleshed out game, and I know that because of it you can just lose yourself in it. So it is super good, highly recommended, but extremely dangerous if you have responsibilities and things that you need to do. So it is a lot of fun, but I also need to put it in its place, because if not, like I could easily just spend the rest of the night in this game to like the light of day, kind of like a kid at Christmas, and not even recognize it, of how much fun that program, that game is. So that's what I'm gonna leave it. That is just like next level for me, but I've been having a lot of fun, even to the point where I haven't been recording content on the Vision Pro besides like my own like spatial videos, and I've been doing a lot of that. Like even earlier today, like Aiden was just doing something that was just the cutest thing in the world, right? He was just like sitting in his chair, like super relaxed with a bowl of like what is it, Pepperidge Farm goldfishes, you understand? And he's just watching his thing, and he's just like munching on like he's not even looking at the bowl, he's just like couch potatoing. And I absolutely loved the entire imagery, so I just hopped on the Vision Pro, and as soon as it turned on, went right into the spatial video recording, and he was none the wiser. He's just looking at me like not even paying attention, just kept eating the goldfishes. And I have that memory now locked into the Vision Pro. So if not for things just like that I've been doing, I am absolutely I am one of the few that say that this is absolutely worth it, just because of things like that. And I know that this technology just getting better in the future is only going to lead to having these memories look that much better in the future, because they're being recorded correctly now. A little side note, everyone that's been using this system has said that it is night and day, the spatial videos that you record from an iPhone comparative to the ones that you record directly into the device. There's no comparison, and I would have to agree. And that's why like I said, I've been having a blast recording a lot of memories of Aiden using it. So, but guys, we did it. This was episode 168. And if you're not familiar with this, guys, this is 168 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream without skipping a beat. Now, I got to thank you all for making this a space where I want to hang out every single week, which draws me to this. So as always, thank you for taking the time and hanging out here, being part of the crew. Now, if it was your first time, make sure that you now mark it down on your calendars, because every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Camera Junkie the Camera Junkie YouTube channel, we go live, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces as we do it all over again next week. That is it, everyone. As always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next time. Talk to you. Oh, actually, before I forget, I did my whole thing. I did I nailed it. And I forgot Cities Gaw. So let's do it. Cities Gaw. Channels that I think you should go and watch. Everyone who's still here who didn't click out, thank you as always. Cities Gaw. And that's what I had down here. Let's see if we can get to it. Go ahead and set that up like normal. Let's go back to Ecamm. Let's see what Cities Gaw looks like. Boom, there we go. Cities Gaw, channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week is Mr. Michael Tobin. Now, I was fortunate to be hanging out with Brandon Washington on one of his live streams recently, but as well before that, on a previous live stream, was when I was kind of like enlightened to Mr. Michael Tobin and his channel. And to tell you the truth, like, I've been watching some of his stuff as of late, and it's like he falls like right into the vibe, you understand? As I scroll through his videos, you can see that he's big camera junkie himself, using a variety of different cinema cameras. He's big on the Black Magic series, and also he's a Resolve editor. So if you've been thinking about getting some more information in any of those types of like fields, as you can see, he's got a lot of content that's based around it, from iPhones to Black Magics to, as you can see, the DJI. He's Michael Tobin. If you haven't heard of him, I highly recommend you check out his channel. I've been enjoying a lot of his content, even though I'm one of his more recent subscribers. So this week's Cities Gaw, Michael Tobin. Channels that I think you should go and watch. And that now concludes this week's live stream. So I I want to flip those scenes where I did the exit before and, you know, kind of reverse it. But live happens. So guys, once again, being very Puerto Rican of myself to say thank you once again and saying goodbye for the 5th time. So everyone, once again, take care of yourselves and each other, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces as we do it all over again next week, same time, same place. Talk to you.